Joining us now, we have Senator JV Ejercito, who is calling for the replacement of China's ambassador to the Philippines. Good morning. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning, Gretchen. Nice to be back in your program.
Good to see you well. You've commented on the very public squabble between PCG, spokesperson to the West Philippine Sea, Commodore Tarriela, and the current Chinese ambassador to Manila, Jing Quan. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, no? But what do you think of the Chinese embassy statement or question on whether Tarriela's post reflect official policy?
Well, for me, Gretchen, there's nothing wrong in stating your country's position, especially in West Philippine Sea. There's nothing wrong in fighting for our sovereignty, standing up for our sovereignty, fighting for our territory, and protecting our territory. And I think that's one of the tasks of Commodore Tarriela and the Coast Guard. For me, Gretchen, this has really gone, the conflict has been here for quite some time, but we need to exhaust all diplomatic means. No? That's why I reacted, because as ambassador, I think the primary task is really to improve the relationship between the host country and your country. So he is just new, and with coming up with statements attacking the officials of your host country, like Commodore Tarriela, some senators and other officials, I think that's uncalled for, and that will not improve the already tense situation or relationship of the Philippines and China.
You're calling for the replacement of the Chinese ambassador with a Senate resolution.
Yes.
Do you think that will change things? Don't you think this is also state-sponsored stance or posturing from the Chinese embassy?
Well, as I mentioned, Gretchen, I think he has assumed less than 2 months. No? He's just newly appointed or newly appointed Chinese ambassador. But again, what I'm hoping for, an ambassador who will be more diplomatic and more friendly, so that at least it will douse water into the fire, no, so to speak, because I don't know, because of the situation in the West Philippine Sea, so many skirmishes, so many incidents already. What we need is an ambassador who will try to repair or improve again, try to bring back at least yes, in former relationship,
lower the temperature.
That is correct.
Between China and the Philippines. But they took issue with the caricatures of President Xi Jinping that were in the presentation of Commodore Tarriela. Ano pong palagay niyo doon? I mean, okay lang ba yung ganon? Kasi alam po din natin sa matagal na panahon na medyo sensitive po sila with the way the Chinese president is depicted, lalong-lalo na pagdating sa mga ganyan.
Well, we understand the reaction, no? Probably because it's their leader, no, that was depicted in the caricature. But you know, Gretchen, we have to understand also Commodore Tarriela. He's member of the Coast Guard. It's our Coast Guard who are being bullied, harassed, and the Chinese Coast Guard have been very hostile. No, not to mention our fishermen, but in the so many instances already that they have really bullied and been harassed our own Coast Guard. So you cannot blame Commodore Tarriela for acting that way or stating those words, because it's their men. It's his men. It's their men of the Coast Guard on the line. The lives and the welfare of their men who are on the lines.
On the other hand, they haven't really been innocent. China has not been innocent. Chinese state media, often used as a mouthpiece of Beijing, has often caricatured Philippine officials in editorial cartoons. So we suppose these caricatures actually have the blessing of the Chinese leadership kasi Chinese state media yun.
Yes.
No? So, kumbaga parang
they're using it also sa
hindi
propaganda.
Hindi lang tayo, ginagawa rin nila yan.
They're using it for propaganda purposes also, especially in the West Philippine Sea issue, Gretchen. And I just want to be clear, Gretchen, I don't hate the Chinese. I grew up in a Chinese, studied and grew up in a Chinese school. I love my Chinoy friends. No, I love the Chinese
Thank
people.
you.
Yeah, but it's not the Chinese people that I'm against. It's the expansionist scheme of Xi Jinping's government that I'm against, and what they are doing to our fishermen, to our Coast Guard, and disrespecting and not honoring the UNCLOS. So that's what I'm against. It's not the people. No? I grew up with my Chinoy friends. No, so.
But I suspect the confusion is over also whether the social media posts of Commodore Tarriela would pass off as official policy, which is, yun nga, no,
Yes.
kasi dalawa yung role niya. As a Filipino citizen, yung personal niya.
Yes.
At pangalawa, yung stance ng Pilipinas.
Yeah.
How would you balance that?
Well,
I mean, you're a sitting senator. Anything you say could be taken as
well, I think
something official.
you're correct, Gretchen. I think si Commodore Tarriela has to realize also that whatever he says will
have an impact.
Will have an impact, no? Because he is the spokesperson of the Coast Guard. So he has to be more
Circumspect?
more responsible.
Oh,
no?
mas
But
maingat.
I agree that he should be more toned down, but I try to understand, no? If you see the plight of your men, no, hindi naman tayo hinaharas lagi every day, or subject to this environment. So that's why probably he's more emotional about it, no? Knowing or how their men have experienced all of this harassment and hostilities.
Well, he is the consistent figure from the Philippine side to
Yes.
be having these jabs with China. But the Senate is also studying the possibility of declaring the Chinese ambassador persona non grata. Ano po yung what has come out of that study? Posible ho ba yun?
Well, that's why we hold it. We postponed it, no? We're studying it because we do not want to strain the relationship. We have a long history of good relations with China. Economically, culturally, we have really good relationship with China in the past, and we do not want to strain that. My position, Gretchen, is really to exhaust all diplomatic means, no?
Mag-usap muna, in
Usap
short.
muna.
Oo.
And we do not, I mean, we cannot match China in terms of military strength, whatever we do. They're a superpower. We're just a third world country. But what we need to do right now is we have to strengthen also and build that minimum credible defense also para naman respetado siya, na hindi tayo binubuli lamang, no? Yung respectable. But when it comes to the new ambassador, from what I heard, he was stationed in Washington for a long time. And parang spy talaga to eh. So he was the one supervising information that he was the one supervising yung mga assets ng China in the US. So I think he was assigned here not really to improve the relationship between China and the Philippines. He was assigned here really to guard or to look at the interest of the United States against China. So more of yung geopolitics, yung conflict between the two superpowers. That's the reason why I want, if he can be replaced, or to a more diplomatic, to an ambassador or diplomat who would really intend to repair and improve the relationship between China and the Philippines.
I think that's possible if the latest moves of the Chinese ambassador are actually not state-sanctioned, because
Yes.
they might also be playing
That is correct.
gray zone tactics
Yes.
at that diplomatic level, which they're known for out at sea. No?
That is correct.
But this is, as we know, a game of leverage.
Yeah.
And in the past, China has put pressure on Philippine farmers by a ban, an import ban on Philippine bananas.
That is correct.
Ano sa tingin nyo ang ating leverage dito na pwede nating magamit to at least lower the tensions?
Yun, we are appealing, of course, we are appealing to China to take a look at the person that they have appointed here, or probably you're correct, and might be even be state-sponsored. But if they are really, as they say that we are friends, or not allies, so but friends, they have to show it also. They have to respect and respect our territory, respect our sovereignty, respect the UNCLOS ruling. So show some goodwill, no? But and also, again, that's why I think we would be better off, our relationship would be better off with a person or a character that would be more diplomatic and someone who would really have the intention of trying to improve the relationship between the host country, which is us and China. So ito, kakaupo pa lang, attacking the host country's official, that doesn't give a good sign of things to come.
And yet maybe we should also improve on our leverage.
That is correct.
Okay, speaking of friends, kayo po ay naakusahan dito sa ethics complaint na hindi nyo raw tinakal ng isang private lawyer na si Marvin Asiron. He was the one who filed the ethics complaint against Senator Chis Escudero,
Yes.
and yet he says that there was 109 days of complete inaction which constitutes willful gross neglect of constitutional duty. At kayo po ang sinasabi po niya na wag nang payagan to discuss this, to inhibit from the Escudero complaint.
First of all, Gretchen, I think this is a big deception. No? Somebody as a lawyer should already know the rules. No? First of all, I cannot act on anything because I just give the history. I was designated as chair of the Committee on Ethics, which nobody wanted, no? Because it's a very controversial committee. It's the last committee that had a chairman, and the leadership, Senate President Soto, really asked me, no, na nakiusap talaga siya, natanggapin mo na. So I took up the challenge. I was designated around October, no? That was 2-3 days before we adjourned sessions.
Sino po ang pinilitan niyo ulit? Si Congressman
I forgot.
Sorry, Senator pala. Senator...
I can't remember anymore.
Okay.
No? Because there was an election. I think it was Senator Tolentino before. So, since he's not with the Senate anymore, nobody wanted, though we had a new Senate, nobody wanted the Ethics Committee until now. And there was change of leadership also. I don't know if it's Senator
Marcoleta?
Marcoleta, maybe.
Parang siya po ata.
Yeah, because he was new, Senator Marcoleta. Anyway, I was designated October. We had a break already. Only my name was read. The rest of the members were not yet constituted. So you cannot act on any complaint when you're not constituted yet. So November comes, nag-resume session, but it was already budget season. So wala rin kami plenary. It was budget hearings every day for a month, no? And then when we came back on December, BICAM naman. So after the BICAM, we had one day of plenary, ito sana yung chance, but the only agenda was to approve the bicameral conference committee report. So hindi nagkaroon ng chance magkaroon ng plenary session for the committee to be constituted.
Kumbaga na-busy sa budget.
Yes, nag-timing lang, no? Dumating yung budget, dumating yung BICAM, so there was no chance of it being approved, the members being constituted and approved in plenary.
Well, if ever that question should be thrown to the Senate President kung bakit hindi po na kompleto agad yung Ethics Committee. But now, members have been appointed?
Yeah, finally, Gretchen, when we resume session Monday, the minority already completed their nominees, so I finally gave the list to the Committee on Rules, to the Majority Leader. Now, finally, the membership has been finalized on Tuesday, and it was read already in plenary. No? As soon as we came back Monday, Tuesday, it was already constituted. No? The members are myself as chairman, Senator Kiko Pangilinan as a vice chair, Senator Ontiveros, Senator Erwin Tulfo for the majority, and then for the minority, it is Senator Bongo, Senator Amy Marcos, and Senator Rodante Marcoleta.
And when will you be tackling that complaint against Cheese Escudero?
We are now in the process of reviewing the rules governing the committee of the last Congress, and then we will presenting it next week first for the organizational meeting. Then probably, since all the members will be there, we will already decide on which cases. Of course, we'll decide first on the rules. Siguro first, ako kasi I would like first in, first out, no? Depends on the date of filing. And then we will decide which cases probably have the grounds, really, for it to prosper. So, it's a membership who will decide. I will just be there to preside.
So, ano po yung pag may kaso na ho, ano po kaya? Kasi in the case of Senator Pong Revilla, what will his status be?
Senator Bong is not a city senator now.
Ay, nga pala. Yeah. But the others, Senator Joel,
the others,
Senator Escudero, if his name comes up, Senator Jing Quan.
It will be up to the discretion of the committee on what they think should be done. For example, yung Senator Escudero, COMELEC already dismissed yung kanyang bribery case, no? Itong issue na to. But we will still have to decide whether to pursue it or not. Of course, we'll take into consideration the COMELEC decision and action. But it's the committee members who will decide on if there are still grounds to continue or the case, no? If this will prosper or will continue the deliberation of the case.
But what about Senator Joel?
Senator Joel, of course, same case, no?
As
we will
Senator
decide.
Escudero.
Yeah, and until in case he will be accused, but it's not yet final. He's still not convicted. But it will be the decision of the committee, or it will be the appreciation
if they can continue on.
If they can continue on, yes.
Okay, but how about Senator Bato de la Rosa? Medyo iba ho ang kanyang kondisyon na he has been missing in action for quite some time.
Yes.
And ano po yun? He's still receiving his salary, right, as a senator.
Well, because we reviewed the rules, and it was also stated by Senate President Soto, being our leader, that the only time you can really compel a member is when a quorum is needed. Kumbaga, hindi talaga sila obligado, no, to attend. But,
to attend physically.
To attend, But Senator Lacson gave a compromise para hindi na maging controversial, because Senator De La Rosa has not been reporting to plenary or to the Senate. If he is amenable to suspend his salary, no? Para lang fair. He's not reporting to work, so yung salary niya if it can be withheld. So
you will take that up in the ethics.
We'll take it up also. So probably we'll also. It depends on the decision of the members. If that will be acceptable, then we will recommend.
But is it true that there is no written rule that states no work, no pay in the Senate? Walang ganun ho?
Walang ganun, yeah. Because probably this would have
a very rare to waive.
Yes. So we really have to
set
discuss
the rules.
And set the rules. Yes.
Because in other countries, there are sanctions for repeated absences. For example, in Canada, past 21 days of unjustified absences, a parliamentarian's pay is slashed by 120 Canadian dollars a day. In Australia, meron din pong pag nag-skip ka po ng 2 buwan of sessions, you lose your seat. In Macedonia, it is 6 months absence. Is there value in that, you think, to have sanctions? Not just to have it as a personal prerogative to waive?
Probably we'll study those and look into those set of rules in the other countries, and discussed, no, which we can adopt and apply in the case of Senator De La Rosa or whoever has an issue.
Okay. I want to go to the anti-political dynasty bill, which is being tackled in the House. So there are 21 versions before the lower chamber. Do you support an anti-political dynasty bill?
Yes, Gretchen. Admittedly, I benefited from a political family, political dynasty. But I support the anti-political dynasty bill. The rationale, Gretchen, being, we're 112 million, our population, 112 million Filipinos. And I am of the belief that with 112 million, a lot of Filipinos out there are willing to serve or want to serve the country and are capable. But the problem is they don't have the means, they don't have the machinery, the funding, and the name. Not to get themselves elected or be in position. So that's a problem. So that's why I believe that we have to give chance to others. No, for me, power, be it economic or political, should not be monopolized and should be shared. So yun yung ko. In fact, Gretchen, dun sa Sangguniang Kabataang Reform Law, of which I'm one of the authors, I was the one who introduced the provision on anti-political dynasty.
And doon po,
first time.
Ang consanguinity, ano po yung mga rules
well,
about
up to
that?
4th degree yun medyo stricto rin yun So we'll have to balance or analyze, which would really be, in case we tackle the anti-political dynasty itself.
But what kind of anti-political dynasty bill would you support? Kasi meron pong proposal that parang vertical application po nun, wala lang sa horizontal, kumbaga parang wala kang ka-4th degree of consanguinity in the national government, in the local government, in the provincial government. Pero pwede pag various levels.
That we have to think of, kasi yung ang ayaw natin yung sa local yung mayor, vice mayor, one family.
And you've been through that.
Vice governor and all.
That fight?
Dapat siguro parang national or local can be allowed, pero yung local, nandun kayo lahat, will not be allowed. So we'll see. We'll have to analyze, or could be one only.
Do you think there is momentum now to get that passed, especially with the recent infrastructure corruption revelations?
Well, it has been a challenge ever since. Talagang it will not even make it kahit sa committee level pa lang. But hopefully this time around, with the changing times, pero political will talaga to I think it will be easy. I admit it's still a challenge kasi in the House, probably 70 or 80% belong to dynasties, or political families.
In the Senate, there are at least 4 families who are senators. Kayo nga po, kapatid, the Tulfos, the Cayetanos, the Villars. Hindi po na pag-uusapan itong anti-political
pero sa amin, hindi ka naman sure kung magkasama. Joke lang. Joke only, but yeah, it will be a challenge, because of the composition of both Congress and the Senate. But who knows? Because of the changing times, because of the biggest scandal.
But are you willing to, let's say, if your brother runs for the Senate again, are you willing to take a step back? Kasi if that will apply to your situation, iisa lang ho,
Well, that happened already, and it's been a challenge for me because when I ran for re-election the first time, he went, doon siya nag-come back, so nagsabay kami, and we both lost. Luckily, this time around 2022, I ran as an independent. He was with the UD team. I was still lucky enough, sort of a miracle, that I still made it. We both made it, but it's really difficult, short of a miracle of making it running at the same time kasi naghahati talaga yung boto So we'll see. We have to, if we need to sacrifice, why not, for the country. But I think I still have a lot of things that I want to finish. Unang-una yung advocacy ko, universal healthcare, although it's passed already, it's a 10-year program. We're going on the 6th, 7th year already, but I really would want to look into it and make sure that it's already fully implemented. And talaga,
What are the bills that you're looking at?
Right now that
pursuing?
I passed already Universal Healthcare Law, PPP, marami na rin, Creation Department of Housing. But now, one of the things that are very important, Gretchen, is the Comprehensive Master Plan for Infrastructure Development, which I think will solve a lot of problems, no? Which will pave way to our development. Kasi
When you say infrastructure, as in DPWH infrastructure?
everything, transport,
Hindi na po
energy,
sa kalusugan,
that only DPWH. And I think that's a problem for the country. We don't have really,
One
we
of
don't follow a real master plan. That's
So
why
that's what you're pursuing.
nagkaroon tayo ng mga floodgates, scandal yan, because walang master plan. Talaga magpa-project lang para lang magka-project. Alam mo na kung bakit, no? But I think, first of all, in terms of development, I estimate we are 30 years behind in terms of infrastructure development compared to our ASEAN neighbors. They invested heavily, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, in the 90s, no? And now they're already reaping the fruits of their labor, no? I've been advocating railway system, improvement of airports, because that will spur and stimulate economic growth and spread out the development. Hindi lahat Metro Manila, Cebu, Davao, no? So it will spread out the development in decongest Metro Manila and other cities, give opportunities to other provinces kasi magkakaroon na ng growth areas and growth nodes, stimulate economic growth in all the areas. And also provide jobs and opportunities. No, hindi yung pong buong buhay natin ayuda na lang tayo, ayuda. In the long term, I would want a program that is sustainable and that will improve the lives of our people by talaga jobs talaga. And I think this will really pave the way to the creation of jobs by creating growth nodes and growth areas in the different parts of the country. That's why I'm pushing for it. Kailangan natin ng master plan that whoever sits as president, dapat yung pong major infrastructure has to be continuous. Kasi nangyari sa atin because of our political system, 6 years, 3 years, short term,
and who will
medium
be
term.
crafting that master plan in your bill?
Well, various government agencies, DepDev, yung before NEDA, no? DepDev, of course, DOTR, DPWH,
Kaya lang ang
energy.
problema kasi iba-ibang agenda ng bawat administrasyon.
That's why pag meron tayong infrastructure sana, yung master plan, yung comprehensive master plan, that's the rationale I would want this to be passed. That each president, they come and go, but they have their own agenda, they have their own pet program, legacy program. So, ang rationale ko rito, whoever sits as president may have their own programs, pet projects, but
let's follow this master plan.
let's follow the master plan. For example, railway system, the airports. So, we have your own program, but kasi when you talk about major infrastructure, it takes 30, 50 years planning, execution, di ba, implementation. Ano yan 20, 30, 50 years ina-plan yan. So, it will really transcend so many administrations. So, that's the rationale. Whoever sits as president, all the major infrastructure, the big ticket items should be continuous.
Okay, that is if hindi po makain ng oras po ninyo ng impeachment na niluluto dito sa House. Unprecedented. It could be an impeachment court dealing with 2 cases here. What are your thoughts on that? Tingin niyo po ba ito po makakapasa? At how because this is happening in the light of the upcoming 2028 elections.
Gretchen,
2 taon na lang.
Yes.
Si PBBM.
If I may, air my frustration. Impeachment process is politically charged, no? Whether I'm for it or not, we have to perform our duties. It's our constitutional mandate to perform our duties and go to the impeachment, no, as a central judges. But I'm just worried about the implication of having may impeachment ang presidente, may impeachment ang vice president na upcoming. It will not paint a good picture of the Philippines internationally. imagine the top 2 officials have impeachment that having be subject to impeachment. So that will create a vacuum, political instability, a perception of political instability. Eh ngayon, foreign direct investments nga, hindi na sa atin pumupunta, sa Vietnam na. Aside from Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam has been getting double or triple of our foreign investments. With this coming corruption, scandals in the news, impeachment, nako, saan na tayo pupunta nito? No, I'm just airing my frustration because of my advocacies. Instead of us talking about the railway system, the improvement of our airports, ports, so that economic growth may continue, instead of us improving our healthcare system, our agriculture, we're talking about corruption, we're talking about impeachment. So yun I'm just airing my frustration kasi parang there's no light at the end of the tunnel if we continue to be hounded by these issues.
Well, on the other end, sinasabi po nila, hindi po natin pwedeng palagpasin yung accountability.
Of course, accountability naman.
Pero naiintindihan ko ang
agree
sinasabi po ninyo, no? Of wanting this time as a sitting senator to be able to make good use of that to pursue landmark legislation.
Yeah, Gretchen, kasi we're 30 years behind our, 35 years behind our ASEAN neighbors. We have a lot of catching up to do. And parang hindi tayo hindi lang nag-stagnate, parang nag-regress pa tayo. So, yun lang. But of course, accountability
we have to arrest also that
has to be
corruption cycle.
be given attention all the time and priority. Kaya lang, I'm just when you look at galing ka ng Vietnam, galing ka ng Thailand, when you come home, parang nakakainggit. Parang they're doing all the right things. They're moving up and we seem to be doing the opposite. Di ba? Nakakainggit talaga.
A lot to study there. And also, I think that master plan is a good idea that could be, set us in the right direction at least para hindi nakaka-frustrate. Maraming salamat po para sa inyong
Thank
oras and for weighing in on with us with different issues. We have Senator JV Ejercito.